Thanks so much.
I'm glad that I could be your. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kristin Armstrong's workout for Women's Week. I am Crystal Haggard at Zwift HQ, and we have the incredible Kristin Armstrong with us today. Kristin, where are you training from right now?
Well, I'm at home in I call it kind of my training basement, but I'm in Boise, Idaho, and we finally saw some sunshine a couple days ago. But here I am, I'm still on Zwift because, I don't know, I'm completely addicted to it.
I love hearing that. So can you tell us a little bit about the workout that we're doing today?
Yeah, today we're doing a strength endurance workout. And, I think that there's a lot of different perceptions around what strength endurance is and how does it benefit you, and should I be doing strength on the bike or should I be doing strength in the gym? And strength endurance is, I would say, one workout that I really leaned on many times in my career because I only had so much time, especially after having a child. And I was also working part-time leading into Rio. So strength endurance is all about lowering the RPMs. And you saw today in the description, it can be anywhere between 55 RPM and 70 RPM. And it's not because you're better than somebody else. It's truly because you're at a different spot. If you have a high cadence, naturally, 70 RPMs might feel like a lot. If you've had knee problems in the past, don't push it. You're a healthy individual. If you're pedaling at 85 RPMs on a normal day, then you might need 55 RPMs in order to feel the strength. Remember, today is not about going fast. It's about keeping in that zone 3 tempo, all while gaining strength at a low RPM.
I love the
other thing about this workout.
Go ahead.
Oh no, the one other thing about this workout is, you have to remember the simple formula around strength times speed equals power. So think about that for a minute. How are we going to increase power to be stronger on the bike if we don't have strength and speed behind us?
It's a great point, and I love the message of having the workout meet you wherever you're at. So for different types of riders who have natural either different strengths or injuries, I love that you're encouraging us to do what feels good and meet us where we need it. For this workout, I would love to know, do you use erg mode on your trainer?
For this workout, it's really interesting because the low RPMs, sometimes the erg mode, it takes a little bit to kick in. So sometimes you have to get down to that low RPM for the erg mode to actually kick in, to actually recognize that that's where you want to be and that's where it's going to keep you. Otherwise, when you're in the erg mode on a strength endurance workout, you may think you're at 70 or 65 RPM. However, you're pedaling around 85, and that erg mode is going to kick in, keep you at 85 to 90, and you're not going to get the same kind of workout. You're just going to get a real basic tempo workout.
Awesome. Thanks for the insight on that.
So one thing, I have a question.
Do you have any? Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is I have a lot of questions out here around people who are thinking that this is a workout. I don't have on my screen the actual workout to the left. And so I'm not sure if others are maybe not seeing that as well. But there's just been a lot of questions around the format because I don't see the actual strength workout.
Let me look into this super quick. I Yeah, I'm gonna have Kate, who's with me, check that out really quick.
Okay.
They're
And I'm okay. I know the workout, so as long as everyone else is seeing it. I see some others, or I was just asking the question, so.
I am going to assume that they're seeing what you're seing.
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and lead the workout, we can encourage the women to follow along with you. There may have been a setup error on our back end with plugging the actual workout into today.
Okay. All right. So let me just type a few things in.
So for those of you tuning in right now, Kristin is going to communicate with the riders exactly what the workout is and to follow along with her and to watch her lead. If you're not on Zwift right now, you can see, and you're watching the feed, you can see her power in the upper left-hand corner. You can see her cadence right underneath that. And the other riders can see that too, so they can follow her prompts and her lead and stick with her and get a great workout in today. How many women do we have on the ride? So right now we have about 115 women on this group ride today from all around the world, which is pretty incredible. I see some familiar names up there of women who have competed in the Zwift Academy program that we've done and who have been part of the community for a long time. It's really neat to see everybody joining in and getting a great workout today with Kristin. What's going on? We have our first question that's come in. Kristin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about listening to your body when going through training blocks? It's a great question.
You know, you do have to listen to your body. I think that a lot of times we focus so much on our equipment and we focus so many things that are out of our control. But I always like to speak to people about really understanding who they are inside and out. We learn so much about food. We learn about training. We learn about bikes. But how many of you actually take the time to learn about yourself? And I think it's a really important piece. And the more we master ourselves, the more we'll master the power that we're able to produce. We keep healthy. We take care of ourselves. But you can't get nervous around your coach if you have somebody that's really helping you. You can't feel like a failure. You have to be very honest with an individual that you're working with. And over time, you'll definitely, make huge gains just because of that communication and relationship right off the bat.
Yeah, for those of you watching, what questions do you want to ask three-time Olympic gold medalist Kristin? You can either tweet us questions at GoZwift or send us questions on the women's Facebook page. We are the general Facebook page? Yeah, the general Facebook page. We are standing by waiting for your questions. Kristin, I'm curious, what's your favorite course on Zwift?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's funny because two of the courses I actually raced on. One of them is Richmond at the World Championships in 2015. And then the other one is actually, I love going QOM on Box Hill because I'm telling you what,
Awesome.
I suffered on that hill in London and I suffered in that hill in my basement in Boise, Idaho. So that hill hasn't gotten any easier, whether I'm Zwifting or actually racing in the Olympic Games. It's just pain.
I love to hear that. Do you use any of the structured workouts in Zwift, or do you have your coach create all of your own individualized workouts?
Well, now that I'm not coached, I definitely use all the structured workouts. I also do group rides. And I have to be ready for group rides, so mentally, because the first time I went to join a group ride, I was thinking, well, come on, I just got off of Rio. I should definitely race in the Group A, right? Well, yeah, within a minute, I was dropped. And about 30 minutes in, I thought I was going to fall off my bike. And so I'm now riding the Group B, and I'm okay with that. People are out there to race their bikes, and I just figured it was, I kind of underestimated what a race on Zwift was until I actually participated. So it's a really great workout. I use them for my clients as well. And so if there's not a local race that they can participate in, they're on Zwift, getting that same kind of effort and stress level into their body that day, because those rides are just so hard. And there's actually tactics too.
Do you have Yeah, there is. Do you have a favorite workout in Zwift that you do?
Oh man, I like them all. I'm the kind of person that doesn't like to do the same thing every week. I like to mix it up. And so depending on how I feel, I may want to do some shorter efforts. And it all depends on my mindset that day and what I have to do at work. Because a lot of times I'll actually enter into the threshold days when my mind feels that it can actually accomplish that. Sometimes my mind goes for there's some progressive rides where you basically build that power output on the climbs, or I like sometimes when it's a little bit mixed up where I'm standing out of my saddle and then also sitting down, and then my cadence changes. And then also I do actually utilize a lot of the workout library that sometimes on a given day the time frame doesn't work on a specific ride in the exact time that it's shown. So I'll go into the workout library and I'll choose one of many great workouts. And one of my favorites ones there is when it's sort of, it's called random length, and you just don't know what you're going to get. So every time you go do an effort, it might be anywhere between 30 seconds and 4 minutes long. So sometimes it's just how my mind is. I like to not be able to predict what's coming up next.
That sounds like a great challenge. I'm gonna have to try that one out. So how long have you been Zwifting?
I've been Zwifting for a little over a year. My husband was actually able to give me both a Wahoo kicker trainer and a Zwift package for Christmas last year. And so I've been Zwifting for about, 14 or 15 months. And I always tell people, they're like, what is that? And I always say, all I can say is it's a life changer. I've ridden on my trainer more times in the last year than I have in my entire 13-year career. And I haven't woken up saying I just don't want to get on the trainer. I absolutely love it.
That's an incredible testament. We have a question that's come in about that you recently joined USA Cycling as an endurance performance director. We would love to hear more about that and what's going to be your biggest challenge in the year to come.
I am really looking forward to it. I am managing the top athletes in USA Cycling across all disciplines. There's a high performance team, so it's not just myself. There's people who specialize in BMX, mountain bike, road, track, and we basically are all together trying to close the gaps for athletes that may have areas where they feel like if they just had this one thing, they'd be able to podium. So I really want to give opportunities to those that might not have them otherwise. Let me just 1 second. Let me send this group off.
Yeah.
Just trying to make the
So right
workout
now,
as we go.
Kristin is giving some more. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So I just heard from the other folks at Zwift HQ that there was an error. We had a server error with our workout mode, which is why the workout didn't upload properly. But Kristin is doing an amazing job at communicating with the riders right now and letting them know what's coming up next. And next week, when Kristin leads something, it'll be a little bit different. We'll start. We'll have a different type of workout next week with the prompts up and it'll be less of a group ride format. Yeah. So thank you all for joining us on the special Women's Week edition. And thank you, Kristin, for being such a great improviser.
Oh, no problem. All right, we should be about 1 minute into this interval. And I know not everybody's on Facebook Live. However, we're going to do 6 minutes of strength endurance. With the last 30 seconds, we're going to rev it up. So we're going to have to force our cadence through that really high tension. If you have to click up a gear or two for the last 30 seconds, that's completely understandable. But right now, remember, you need to have low RPM for this to have any added benefit. After the 6 minutes, you're going to have 2 minutes, super easy zone 1, and then we're going to do it again. And we'll see how the time goes, but we hope to get a number of these in until we hit the hour mark today.
That sounds great. I love to see so many of the women sticking with you on this. The rubber band function that usually is enabled during workout mode isn't enabled today, so it looks like we're going to be splitting up into some smaller groups based on different fitness levels. And you have a pack of about 6 women with you right now, and then some other women up ahead. You can see on the right hand side of the screen there's women that are about 6-7 seconds ahead, and then another pack of women just a few seconds behind. So Kristin, what is the next big event for USA Cycling on your plate?
1 second.
I'll let you work through this one.
Okay. So the next big event, well, we just got off the World Championships on track where we had Chloe Dygert actually break the individual pursuit record, which was held by Sarah Hammer. She broke that record by 2 seconds, which in a 3 minute and 20-second race, that's pretty phenomenal. It was also done at sea level, so it's not the fastest track. And then we also had our team pursuit women win for the 3rd time in a row the World Championship title. And so that included Kelly Catlin, Kim Geist, Jennifer Valente, and Chloe Dygert. So we're coming off a high right now. We're getting into the BMX season, the road season. You can see Alexis Ryan is on fire.
Yeah, how do you feel about she just Yeah, she's on our Canyon SRAM team that Zwift sponsors. And she's kind of a hometown hero for all of us in California. So we're really excited to see her doing so well.
That's awesome. She is, put in her time. And when I say that, it's not that you have to put in your time if you're talented. However, she has just been a selfless teammate to others. And
she's done a lot of work.
So much joy. Yes, I just have so much joy for her that she's finally broken through and has what it takes. I mean, right, this
So,
next...
Women's Tour of California. Oh, yeah. We'll let you
I'm sorry.
go ahead and communicate with your riders, and then we're about a third of the way through our workout today. The 12.7 miles have just flown by. When you're pushing 4 something watts per kilo, your speed really gets up there. You can see Kristin right now is effortlessly pushing 285 watts while typing and talking and leading a workout. It's pretty incredible to see what such an amazing athlete can do. For those of you that are watching on Facebook and are not on Zwift, right now we are on Watopia, which is our fictional island based in the South Pacific. It is created to basically be Watopia is a cycling utopia. We have hills, we have flats, we have really great circuit courses. There is pretty much anything that you could want and want for your indoor training. Let's see if we have any questions that have come in while you're typing. We have another question once you are done typing. You've said that you want to get back to a normal life, and our listeners want to know, what does that mean to you? What is a normal life to Kristin Armstrong?
Well, I actually thought I knew what a normal life was, and I wanted to get back to a normal life. And what I realized was a normal life isn't what I'm passionate about, and so therefore I wasn't happy. And so for me, I left my job at the hospital in Boise after 5 years. And though it was definitely considered a dream job after college, working for USA Cycling now is where my passion is. My passion is sitting here on Zwift, inspiring other women to ride their bikes, because there's nothing better, honestly, than to be able to free your mind out in riding amongst, others. And no matter what your time constraints are, you always have to take care of yourself first. And I know that what people call the normal life, I fought it for years and years. In fact, when I was in my 20s and got into cycling, I didn't think I was right, because I thought I was supposed to have kids and get married and have a job, and that this was not appropriate. And so I just continue to fight what the norm is and do what makes me happy. Because in the end, it makes my family happy, and it's the best for my child.
That's pretty inspiring. Thanks for that. I am curious to know more about how you got into cycling. You came into cycling a little bit later than a lot of women do, right?
I sure did. I came a lot later. I didn't actually sign my first contract till I was 29 years old. In fact, I was living in Boise, Idaho, working full-time at an ad agency. And this local team got invited to the HP Women's Challenge. And we were invited as a token local team. And I'm like, oh no, there's no way I'm racing against the best in the world. And my arm was twisted. I took all my vacation days. And after work, I go off with a headlamp on, and I go ride loops in the dark. And on the weekends, I would do the routes for the Women's Challenge. And it was June, and by the end of the week, I had 3 contract offers. And so,
oh my gosh, that's
I went
incredible.
on a trip. I went on a trip in Europe with T-Mobile, and back in the day, it was all Americans. The best, all my idols were on that team. And I went to Europe and did the Route de Féminine when it was 15 days. and thought, what have I done? And I actually was offered a 2-year contract. I sat down with Jim Miller at the race, and he asked me, who's your coach? And I said, I don't have a coach. And he's like, well, you need a coach. And I was like, I don't have a coach. And he's like, well, if you want to get better, you need to get a coach and work with somebody. And I said, well, do you coach? And he said, I coach. And I said, all right, you're my coach. And so that's really how Jim Miller became my coach. You know, he wasn't like a VP at USC Cycling or anything. He was just directing T-Mobile, and I didn't know anybody in the sport. So that's kind of how it all started.
That's so amazing. How did you find cycling?
Well, actually, I was always an athlete, and through, since I was a little kid, and went to college and ran track until my sophomore year. And I just wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't like the 100-pound body type. I was more like the 140-pound cross-country runner, which in college, it didn't really go well because I like to eat more than an apple a day. And so I just quit. I wasn't having fun. So after college, I went to work at the YMCA as the director of the aquatic center. And one day I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh man, you better do something about yourself. I just felt like I was, just going down. And so I just decided to ride my bike one day to work. It was 12 miles. And it was a mountain bike with knobby tires. And I got there and I was like, there is no way I'm riding home. In fact, I think I'm going to take 5 days off. So started really slowly. And I think I always say that I've been an athlete for a long time. Nothing's changed there. I've learned discipline. I just never found maybe where I was really most passionate and where I was best at. And so I feel like I found the bike, but I was happy that cycling found me as well. It's just kind of, to me, I think things happen for a reason. And even to have the world's largest event at the time in Boise, Idaho, I mean, I always feel like things kind of, I don't know, the path was a little bit paved, I feel like.
That's such a great, humble beginning, and so relatable for so many of us. I think that's really amazing. One thing that I really admire about you is that whenever you have a challenge in front of you, that you have such a drive to tackle that and to do your best, and I find that really inspiring. Is that something that you were born with, or did you teach yourself that, or what are some of your tips?
Gosh, I get asked that question a bit. And my dad, I grew up in a military life, so my dad was a Marine for 26 years. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that rubbed off on me, but, I always have had kind of a natural, I've been a natural at setting a path, or maybe I say navigating to a goal. And I've been competitive since I was a kid. So even if I go to my parents' house or my relative's house for Christmas and they want to play like Uno or dominoes, I just want to win. And they're like, can you just relax? And I'm like, I don't think so. So it's funny because I work with a lot of different athletes now with so many different personalities. And so I've been listening a lot in the last 6 months at my new role, because it's one thing to get myself to go win a medal, but my huge challenge now is how do I get others to incorporate this drive and this, I actually don't even call it a sacrifice, because sacrificing is a negative to me. It's sacrificing. It's not sacrificing. It's taking an opportunity and making the most of it. And so I'm sure you hear the word sacrifice all the time. But sacrifice to me is, so you sacrifice. Really? Not many people even get to be in the position you are. So, sorry, I'm kind of multitasking right now. 1 second.
That's okay. That's part of what makes you so impressive.
No.
So we're about, while you type, I'll talk a little bit about the ride. We're about halfway through, 17 kilometers down. We are, let's see. Looks like you got a great pack of women with you right now. I'm going to check for some questions that have come in. For those of you that weren't able to join in today, or those of you that have joined in and are having a good time, we're going to, this is going to be a weekly event that Kristin is going to host. So yeah, we're launching it during Women's Week. And next week, if you want to give Kristin's workout a try, we encourage you to hop on Zwift at, yeah. Oh, it's going to be a co-ed workout? Cool. It's going to be a co-ed workout from here on out.
Yeah.
So for Women's Week, we're doing women's only. And then for anybody who wants to try Kristin's, are we going to be doing the strength workout every week? Or is it going to be a workout program and series that you're going to switch it up?
I want to switch it up. I'm assuming that people are coming in to ride with kind of a basic foundation endurance. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the next 16 weeks and we're going to progressively build on these workouts. Now, mind you, if you're listening, the strength workout today, which, you know, I think that we're improvising and we're doing a great job, but we really need to incorporate a strength endurance workout once a week in order to have benefits. So next Tuesday, it's not going to be a strength endurance workout. We're going to do a lactate tolerance workout, but your homework assignment is to go and do a strength endurance workout at least one time before you hit Tuesday. Because if we can do the strength endurance for the next 6 weeks, once a week, you're going to really find the benefits. You're not going to see benefits from doing it one time. I mean, do you see benefits from doing anything in life one time? No. So 6 weeks. It's up to you to add a strength endurance workout.
I'm gonna do that. I'm really excited to try this one out. Is this is the strength endurance workout gonna live on Zwift outside of workout group? So on Zwift outside of this weekly workout, we are going to be uploading some of Kristin's workouts that you can access at any time from wherever you are. So that's something that I'm really excited about. It lets me spend time with you here today, and I get to tap into this a little bit later. What are the other types of workouts we're going to be doing?
Well, there's a lot of different types. You know, I look at everyone's goal as being just a bit different. I mean, somebody might be wanting to go do a Grand Fondo, and they might want to finish it. Some people are actually racing every weekend. And then there's others who want to be on Zwift, and this is what they have time for. And they want to do their best at the next group ride. So my workouts progressively, we're going to add strength. We're going to include lactate tolerance workouts, which is just going to help you at those really annoying race paces that we all know. And so we're going to, basically it's going to, as we build lactate tolerance, it helps us last longer in races. So when the race really goes hard, our lactate levels are much lower than others who haven't trained this area. From there, we'll get a little bit harder. We'll progress to some what I call over-unders, which a lot of you might be familiar with. But basically, it's where you can go up to your threshold and back down to tempo, up to threshold, down to tempo. And as we get more fit, we're going to go above our threshold. We could get into that VO2 where we go on for 20 seconds and off for 40 seconds. And over time, as we get really fit, those peaks and valleys from going high or going above, over to under, those you should be able to, instead of going back down to zone 2, when you're really good, you're going to be able to go into VO2 and then not drop down below tempo. And that's going to be one of our challenges.
So for a workout like we're doing today, for the strength endurance workout, do you fuel while you're on the bike, or what do you do before and after workout?
You know, before a workout, I like to eat, like on the bike, I can eat just, I mean, hey, if I was to give you proper nutrition and we were going to go do a 3-hour race, I would say to eat 2.5, 3 hours before your race. I just ate an hour ago because that's what I can do on the bike. If I go run, I could never eat and go run or eat and go swim. But something about the cycling, I'm able to do that. And then if I'm just Zwifting for an hour, then I can just drink, and then I'm plenty fueled, and I'll eat some protein afterwards, or drink protein between 20 and 30 grams just to recover, because these workouts are really hard on your muscles. If I'm anywhere longer than 60 to 90 minutes, then you need to fuel about 30 to 40% of those carbohydrates or those calories burned. So if you burn like 600 calories in an hour and you're on here for 2 hours, then shoot to recover, like put in about 30% of those calories that you just burned.
We've had a couple questions come in. One of them that I'm sure is a really popular question for you is, our women want to know, how is balancing being a mom and training, traveling, having a business, having a job? You seem to juggle so much. How is that, and how do you do it?
You know, to me, balancing is hard, but this is how I like to simply put it, because I could be here all day talking about balance. And I'm not going to pretend to say that balance is easy for me or for anybody. But at the end of the day, I think that in today's society, you need to eliminate. And when I say eliminate is how many times you get asked to do something in a day that's not going to affect any kind of outcome for you, your family, for anybody. And so you have to really make the right choices and realize that you have this many hours in the day, and that doing something for yourself is not selfish. In fact, it's going to make you a better person. And so I challenge you to ask yourself, when people are saying, hey, let's go grab some coffee after the ride, I challenge you to ask yourself, how is this going to affect you? How is it going to affect your day? And how is it going to affect your family? And if you can answer those, and they're going to affect it all in a positive way, then I think you should have coffee. If they don't, then there's probably something else that you can do that's going to benefit someone else or yourself or family during that day.
It sounds like you have perfected saying no and setting some really good limits to keep everything in balance.
You know, like I said, it's
we have another question.
Easier said than done. No, I was just saying it's easier said than done, but it's kind of the art of saying that in a kind way.
Mm-hmm. I'm the mother of a young child, and the way that you have balanced everything has been really inspirational for me personally. So thank you for being that person who so many of us can look up to. Because if Kristin can do it. We have another question that's come in that's really good about the women's pro scene is starting to get more attention. Which riders are you excited to watch this year?
Oh, man. You know, it is getting exciting, and what's happening is all the youngsters who started at age 14 are now hitting their prime. Not even their prime, they're just actually finally getting those results that they've been working so hard for. And so I'm really excited about Alexis Ryan and what she's just done. I mean, that's consistency. She pulls off a win in the 1.5 one race 2 days before a women's world tour race where she ended up second. To me, that's legit. Corinne, she's the fastest sprinter that we have. And, depending on where her training is, and my guess is, it's one thing to be good early season, but Corinne knows what her next goal has to be, and what it is to win that World Championships in September. And we always have to think about, what is this athlete having to do in order to be good in September? And a lot of times it doesn't mean that you're the best in March. So never fear, because Corinne, she's an animal. I've known her since she was a teenager. I remember one time I was racing the Tour Gila and helping her out a little bit, and I was showing her that we eat pasta and we put olive oil on it. And she thought that was the weirdest thing, because she comes from eating rice. And so from that moment on, we always kind of joke about how the one thing I brought Corinne was the fueling with pasta, like 2 hours before the race. So we have some laughs, and she has a very supportive family. She went to Marian College. So I think it's great that she went off and got her degree, because at the end of the day, cycling isn't forever. So it's nice that especially women can go off and earn a degree, because one day you will have to lean on that, because of course right now, as we all are fighting to increase wages, it's not happening as of this moment. There is obviously some movement, but we have to also take care of ourselves and our future. I also am really excited about Chloe Dygert. She was just right off the podium at the World Championships. It's in 4th place. And so I'm hoping that she can come out and, I don't think it's going to take long for Chloe to wear that rainbow jersey in the time trial. And we have some amazing women out there that are riding, like Skylar Schneider, who's riding for Bowles Dolmans. I mean, to be so young and to have such a great contract, I think we'd all dream of that at her age. So there are so many people. Ruth Winder, she had a great season last year as well. We'll see if Megan Gagne can have some better luck. I think that she had quite a rocky season last year as far as just, unfortunate crashes, which also is part of our sport, which is unfortunate. And then you still have, Lauren Stevens and Taylor Wiles. They're over in Europe, giving it everything they have on silence and drops. So I think we have, quite a group of Americans. So we'll see what the next couple of years bring to Tokyo.
Thank you. We have, one thing that we really want to know here is we know that Tour of California is a really important race to you, and that it's something that's close to your heart. I would love to hear you talk more about the Women's Tour of California and why it's important to you.
The Women's Tour of California is important to me for many reasons. I think my first memory of Tour of California is when AEG, with the backing of Kristin Klein, brought in that one-day only women's invite time trial. I'll never forget that. It was right after I had Lucas in 2011, and it was really my opportunity to see where I was and to go head-to-head against the best in the world. So that's always going to have a mark in my heart. And from there, the Tour of California and Kristin, she's always been able to push the limits and push that envelope as far as getting women on its own stage, or even on a stage alongside the top men in the world. And, although it's not 7 days right now, I think that she's gone to bat for us over and over. And so I will always do what I can to support the Tour of California. I am going back as an ambassador this year. And an ambassador just means basically I get to go speak to schools. I get to share the stage a little bit with Brad Soner and commentate. And I also get to spend some time with some of the VIPs in the sport and take the time to talk about how important women's cycling is and what it's done for myself and how it changed my life.
It's so nice to hear how much you're giving back to the sport. It's pretty amazing. Do you have any tips on recovery after hard efforts? This is a question that came in while we were just talking.
You know, I got to the point in my life where I didn't need a dietitian to tell me what to eat every second of my day. However, I needed a recovery plan. And my simple formula for that is when you do a hard workout that's muscularly fatiguing, or you do a long ride, maybe you go out on the weekend or you have a long day on Zwift, don't underestimate the indoor riding. If you're on a bike for 2 hours indoors, it feels like 3, okay? So if you can focus on that protein first, 20 to 30 grams within 30-minute window of riding, and then remember your body recovers most when you're sleeping. So think about it as your body is going to recover while you sleep. So 30 minutes before bed, although it sounds strange, you need to eat or take in 20 to 30 grams more protein. This can be done through plain yogurt. You can add a little honey, a little syrup, or you can also drink your favorite recovery drink. I personally, if I drink recovery after a ride, then I'll eat recovery prior to bed, or vice versa. But I typically don't like to take in too much liquid over food during my day.
For a recovery day, do you believe in like active recovery, or do you take true rest days?
So basically, here we go, number 5. Let me just write number 5. Here we go. All right. Okay.
We're about 14 minutes out from the end of our workout today.
Yep, we're on number 5 out of 6 efforts. So good job, everyone. Here we go. So basically, so here's my rule of thumb. When I'm fit, when I'm during the season, my recovery days are either off or super easy. When I'm in just base miles, my recovery days can be up to, just a little bit longer. They might be 30 minutes longer than my end season, typically because your body is pushing so hard during the season, or you might say that when you start doing quality workouts, your body's just more fatigued. Now, I don't do many back-to-back days completely off. I always say that when you take one day off, so if you go on vacation for 7 days, which we all do, don't make any judgment until day 14 after being back on the bike. So what I'm saying is 1 day off, 2 days on, okay? So if you take 7 days off, it's going to take you 14 days to feel better again, okay? So give yourself rest. I tell people I'm quality over quantity. I'd much rather go hard, 3 days a week, take a day off every week, and go easy on my other ones than just always have the same kind of riding, just mediocre.
We have a question that's come in that this woman wants to know, as a coach, are there any specific benefits to training indoors? And do you recommend
there's a
indoor
lot.
training to your athletes?
Yeah, all my athletes are actually set up on indoor trainers because, if it's really cold outside, you're not able, and we're in the in season and it's VO2 time, we're actually not able to get our heart rates or our efforts up to where it needs to be. I also find that if you live in a very crowded community where hours are an issue, or if you can't do a threshold effort for 10 minutes straight without a stop sign, then you consider doing some of these quality workouts indoors. It's absolutely it's amazing. I think that when it comes to longer rides, if you do them inside, you got to back it off just a little bit. If you go outside, that's obviously going to help fuel efficiency, fat, glycogen. And so you do need to mix those days up in length, just like you days up in intensity, up and down.
I'm going to check for some other questions now, see if anything's
I can't remember what time I started that last interval now. Let's
on
see.
the workout, Kristin?
Well, we're on number 5. I can't remember exactly what time I started that last one, so someone's going to have to help me. I was talking. I was answering questions.
You started it at about minute 46. So I think you're about 3 minutes in, or almost 4 minutes.
3 minutes in. Almost 4 minutes in. Right now is 4 minutes in. Okay, so 46. So 2 more minutes. We're going to take recovery and do our last one. So let me write that out in case people didn't hear us.
Are you ready for another question, Kristin?
Yeah.
Did you ever live in Europe when you raced? And if so,
I did actually.
Or I guess this could be either. Oh, and they also want to know, what was your favorite European race?
Oh yeah. So yes, I did live in Europe. And I lived in Switzerland, so I was pretty lucky. And so I spent my time in Switzerland, and also I spent a lot of time in Lucca, Italy, in the Tuscany region. So, I mean, I definitely didn't have it rough. And my favorite European race was Flanders. It was the most epic race I've ever done. And to this day, I always think that race taught me never ever to give up, because I've had crashes, I've had snow, I've had rain. I've had my swan year where they never found the feed zone, so I didn't get to eat the entire race or drink other than the bottles that I started with. And I still was able to end up second place to Judith Arndt 2 years. So you can, on that race, I love it because you just never say never. And I think that's what life is all about. You just have to keep on getting up and digging when you get knocked down. It's some of the best. I don't know, I built a lot of character there, a lot of grit.
It sounds like it. What's your most memorable world championship race?
My most memorable world championship race was Salzburg, Austria, 2006. It was when I first won my first title in the time trial. I was world champion. I dropped my chain, and I thought my race was over. Once again, never say never. So within the first 10K of the race, I dropped my chain so bad on a hill that I couldn't. It was one of those times you couldn't just get the chain back on yourself. My mechanic got out and actually put my chain back on me. It was like almost horrifying. It was so humiliating. And so after that,
you still went on to win that race.
I did, because I always say it was because I had so many endorphins going through my body that I had this out-of-body experience where it was like this heightened endorphins where I just almost went crazy. I remember back in the day, Chris Baldwin was riding in the car with my coach and mechanic, and he looked at my coach and said, "You need to slow her down. You need to relax her." And I remember Jim looking at him, or he told me, he looked at Chris and said, "Oh no, we got this now. She's on fire." And so that's basically how my husband and I came up with, a chain catcher, that we had that all ready for Beijing, because that last corner in Beijing was a steep downhill and then it went straight uphill. So that's kind of basically a prime way to drop your chain when you're doing that cross chain, that big chain ring in the front and big in the back, and you drop it and it completely drops. So that's my most memorable experience.
So can you tell us a little bit about what part of the workout you're on right now?
Yeah, so basically we have, we are into our last 6-minute effort. We are about 45 seconds in, and we have about 5 minutes to go. That last 30 seconds is going to be a rev up, meaning you're going to be at that 60 RPM level, wherever you're comfortable. And then you might want to click up or two up your cog, and you're going to rev it up as forceful as you can for 30 seconds. And then we're just going to take an easy cool down. I know we're at the hour, so you can cool down longer on your own. But again, I really hope that you're able to join us next week as we progress through our fitness levels over the next 16 weeks together. There's nothing better than to get fit with one another. And knowing that all of our goals are different, it's actually even more fun because hopefully we can get to know one another and share that online as we ride. But again, my one tip today is to try to fit in one more strength endurance workout in the next 7 days so that you're ready for next Tuesday and we can build upon the strength that we're gaining today.
So do we know what next Tuesday's workout is going to be yet? Is going to be another strength endurance, or is it going to switch next week?
It's going to switch up next week. It's going to be what I call a lactate tolerance workout. We're basically just introducing our body into kind of the higher levels, not necessarily quite going over our lactate, our threshold, because we want to make sure that we push that threshold right where we can, right at that 100% mark. So we're right on, so we're not accumulating any lactate. And once we get our bodies primed to do that, we're going to be able to push that number just a little bit higher and a little bit higher. But we can't push too fast. If we push too fast, it's going to defeat the purpose. We need to build on our foundation that we have coming from the winter and early spring months, like March for some places. For Boise, it is just turned spring. And so we just want to build this together and see how we go. And you know, this program, it's 16 weeks and everyone has different goals. But I think that going on Tuesday, if you have really hard group rides on Saturday or Sunday, at least you can take Monday easy and come in for a quality ride on Tuesday before another hard weekend. So I think it will be super fun and I'm really excited.
Yeah, we're really excited too. We definitely look forward to continuing the ride series. You have so much to offer, so much amazing insight, and we love to hear you talk about your passion for Zwift, and I'm really excited to take part in some of these workouts.
Well, definitely.
So are we?
Yeah, the more.
Are we in our last interval right now? It looks
we
like
are in our last interval.
Power a little bit.
2 minutes to go. And last 30 seconds. Rev it up. That's what I'm going to send right now. I've had to back off a little bit today. My talking and typing, and you know how it goes. But I'm here for all of you. I'm not here. It's not about me today.
Well, we look forward to hearing more stories, and I want to apologize for the setup error, everyone. You did an amazing job leading this workout and letting everybody know what to do, and next week we'll be back with the workout prompts and erg mode, and everything should be in place for you. So you'll be able to concentrate more on talking and riding and less on typing.
Well, I think days like today are actually needed. I think that there's so much structure in our lives that we plan to get on the bike. We have our workout right in front of us. And I think it's sometimes good to be able to take something like today and just go with it. We're still on our bikes. We still have instructions. And we've gotten a good workout in.
Yeah, thanks for being so positive. I love it. I feel really inspired. So are we about ready to ramp it up for the last 30
right
seconds?
Here. Right here. Here we go.
You can see Kristen's power jump up to almost, or there she goes, over 400 watts.
Just because I'm not talking.
Your cadence is about in the mid 90s.
Yeah, like I said,
About a few seconds left.
I didn't follow my own instructions today.
Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us. We look forward to having you back here next week and giving that next workout a try.